Conversations here on creatingwithin.com, and I am your host, Stephanie Fleites. And today's episode, we're going to talk about what it means to listen to your spirit. Yesterday, I had an amazing conversation with Kim Epps, who we are about to talk with, and she shared some very interesting stories with me about what it means to listen to her spirit and how it's changed her life every time she's listened to her spirit and has followed through on the messages that she's receiving. So I wanted to share this with you guys today because I found her stories to be incredibly interesting and amazing, and here we go. Hey Kim.
Hi Stephanie.
How are you?
Thank you for having me.
Of course, thank you for joining me. I am so glad that I met you yesterday.
Likewise, feeling is absolutely mutual.
And for everybody who don't know, I am out in LA right now visiting a good friend of mine, Phoenix White. Shout out. And yesterday I got to meet Kim Epps, who is a hairstylist out here for a lot of celebrities, and she's actually going to be working with Phoenix. And we, without even realizing, just started having, of course, spiritual conversations, because you just, wherever you are vibrationally, you start attracting those types of people into your life. And we just started talking about all kinds of stuff of what it means to listen to your spirit, and I was like, I wish I had a camera. So here you are. And we'll be able to share with everybody today.
Yes, and I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here, and one of the things that we were discussing yesterday, in following the spirit with the work that I do, hair is one of the most remarkable things I love, because you connect with people and their spirits and who they are, and they walk in one way and leave out another way, and that's when I know I've done a good job. Besides the hair, I've deposited in their spirit, and I've just flowed with it. And one of the times, I'm trying to think a good one I can start out with, as far as in the salon. I'm in the salon working, and I would see this man walk by all the time. And something said, start speaking to him. Spirit said, start speaking to him. So I would speak to him and wave through the glass, and wave through the glass. And then one day Spirit said, walk outside your business and say hello. And when I walked out my business just to speak to the man, I said hello. When I watched his face light up, I knew I made a difference. The next day he walked, Spirit said, give him some water. So I walked outside, I gave him water. And then I give him water every time he comes. But I noticed how he lights up. How that one simple gesture, I noticed, makes a difference in his life. And I have to be honest, I always walk back in the salon and cry. Because to make a difference in someone's life is the most amazing feeling that you can ever feel, and that's what it's about. And I just have so many stories.
I know, yesterday we talked about so many of them.
I love them, and all my stories just make me cry real quick. Another story, in the store, I'm in a store one day, a lady asked me to look at 2 purses, and I looked at the 2 purses. She asked me which one do I like, and she said, I showed her, I pointed to the one I liked. She said, of course, she would say, you point out the most expensive one, and she was only here on vacation. And in vacation, she had a little money left over from the holidays, and Spirit then said, buy her the purse.
So she doesn't know. This is just the dialogue that you're having in your head, where Spirit just tells you, buy her the purse.
I don't even know this lady at all. And Spirit said, purchase the purse for her. So I have to figure out very quickly how to address the situation without belittling someone, and make them understand I'm coming from pure love. And I just asked her, will she allow me to bless her? And she said, how? It kind of scared her. She said, how? I said, I would really be honored if you allow me to purchase this purse for you. And she told me, no way. I can't allow you to do that. I'm like, I can't take advantage of you. I said, how are you taking advantage of me if the Spirit is asking me to do this? And I said, please, and it was a slight tug with the purse. So I took the most expensive purse to purchase, went to the register. She was peeking behind the shoes because she couldn't believe it. I walked to the register, purchased the purse, paid cash, got her own receipt. And when I looked back to look for her, she was hiding behind the shoes because she was amazed. And when I walked to her and told her, of course, my eyes, I'm starting to well up. And I'm trying to hurry up and get it done before I start crying in front of the lady. And I just told her I really appreciate her for allowing me to do this. And I paid cash for the purse. I don't know how long you've been in the store. I don't even know your prayers. But I was led to do this. And if you want to make any changes, feel more than free. She told me never. She said, God bought this purse for me. And you were sent to do this. I will, you know. And then afterwards, I'm like, thank you. And I just walked out crying. And sometimes people don't even realize when you follow the Spirit and it leads you to do something, you end up with a better feeling than the person that you're actually doing that helping. Because, oh my God, the feeling is so amazing.
Yeah, because every time, everything that you give to another, you're giving back to yourself. Really, it's all, everything you pour into another person or to just to the world. Every time we send love and compassion, it's just going to come back to you tenfold.
And I don't see how people don't get that. It's simple. You hear it in your ear. You hear things. Don't second guess it.
So now that you mentioned that, for those people who don't understand what it really means to listen to your spirit, or how I say, you know, being in touch with your higher self.
Absolutely.
You know, other people use the word intuition. It's all, you know, whatever wording you're comfortable with. But how does that come for you? So when you were at the store and you were talking to this lady you didn't even know, who just happened to ask you for your opinion on these two purses, and all of a sudden you get this feeling where it's like, I gotta buy this purse. And you're like, what the hell is this? How does that come? Was it a feeling? It was just a voice? Like, how did you interpret the information?
Sometimes it's a feeling. Sometimes it's a voice, a whisper. This could tell me to do it. And it's amazing because when I'm told and led to do something, it's the best. So, like, there was a decision. There's that more expensive purse, and then there was a purse on sale. And with that, I'm to purchase for this lady the best item. I don't know her prayers, but she was geared towards the cheapest. And maybe in it, it showed her value.
Yeah, so I was just going to say that. Yeah.
It showed her love, unconditional love. I did not know her. And for a stranger, and I just got to the store. I mean, I had a little shopping to do. But the Spirit said, leave. I couldn't do any more shopping. So actually, it was about her. Because when you're working with the Spirit sometimes, you look like an angel. You have to come in, tap, and leave. And then it's like, okay, wait. Once the person settles back in, you're gone. And I get that. So I had to be obedient. I couldn't shop anymore. But it was the best feeling because all I did was walk out the store and cry. I cried so hard, and I have to always call my mom and say, I had another mission today. And you know, it's the greatest feeling.
It is, and we don't realize that when we live this life, you know, we're constantly in each other's reality, and every time that we are interacting with somebody else, you know, we're playing a role. Each of us play a part in people's lives. Absolutely. And sometimes we don't know what that is. So I wanted you to share the one story that you shared with me yesterday about the lady in the house when you were doing the hair that you gave the money to.
Oh.
Because that story shows the power of how people's prayers sometimes are answered.
Absolutely.
Usually through other avenues, through people.
Absolutely. I was flown to Miami with clients doing their hair. We were out there for a few days. And the hotel I stayed in at the time, really popular hotel, Gavin's Ford, is really pretty. So the young lady that worked in the hotel actually was a maid. So she came into the room, you know, she was cleaning, and I speak to everyone, you know, so I'm talking to her like she's one of my friends. Hi, how are you? How long have you been here? You know, just talking. And she wanted to know, how are you here? Are you just on vacation? I said, no, I'm working. She said, what type of work do you do? I said, I'm a hairstylist. She said, and you're with clients here? And I said, yes, they fly me wherever they go, and we stay at the absolute best. I'm working. And she said, wow. I said, so is being a maid what you choose in life? And she told me no. She said, the love of my life is a midwife. And the chills just went through my body. And I asked her, why aren't you doing it? And she kind of looked at me, and basically it was money. She's working because she has to take care of her bills. So her true love gets put aside. And she had to leave out the door because remember, she's still working.
Right.
So she had to leave out the door and come back. And once she left, Spirit said, give her $100. And once again, I'm like, how do I do this without belittling people? Because she's not like saying she's in need of money, not a bum or anything. So you have to do things a certain way, but you have to do everything in the Spirit. Because when you move in the human, you've taken the power away from it.
Right.
So I'm like, so when she came back, but myself, well, Spirit, when he said $100, so I had a $100 bill and I had 520. So I was nervous. I put them in my hand because I did not want her to reject this.
Okay.
So when she came back in, I kind of came to her wrong because I was moving so fast. I said, pick a hand. And she looked. I said, I'm sorry, I apologize. I said, Spirit told me to give you $100, and I didn't know whether I should give you $100 or 520s, or what should I do? And she was so nervous because I didn't know her prayers. And she said, 520s. And I felt like, you won. And I gave her the 520s, and at that point, I told her, now sow into your life. You are not to listen to your mother, your aunt, your grandmother. They give you words of love and all they know. And a lot of times we come from scarcity or different things that our challenges are. They just wanted her to have. But what I told her, if you do what you truly love, it won't be working. And to be a midwife, you assist life. Oh my gosh. You were one of the first ones to see the life coming. That is the most amazing, and we both crying. So needless to say, it ended up being a wonderful night. She leaves. We go on and do what we have to do the next morning. There's a note on my bed, right above, on the side, on the nightstand. It said, from the lady you blessed yesterday. And to cut it short real fast, she said, you may have thought I was a nobody, but I was a somebody. And the words of encouragement that you gave me and spoke over me, I'm just crying. And she just wanted to bless me, my family, the generations to come. She told me that I will be in business. I will be over. There will be people working for me. And needless to say, she was right. All of that has happened since she spoke. And that's why I follow the Spirit. Because a lot of times you don't realize life is a horseshoe. And people don't understand that. That means whatever you put out does this. It comes right back. But the things I do are not to get back.
It's just innate in you. And I saw that yesterday when we were talking. It's just part of who you are. You love to give back and to be in tune with it because it gives you, it fills you. I feel like every time that you listen to your spirit and you do that and you follow through on whatever it's telling you, that's what brings you joy. That's what fills your energy and kind of grounds you and fills you the inside out. So I totally see that. And the other thing is that I know you didn't mention, but the crazy thing about that story was even yesterday when you said that when you gave her the money, she had told you that that she had actually needed $100.
You're right. That's what blew it away.
And that's
she prayed for $100, and when she said she was shaking, she was like, "I prayed for $100." I'm like, it just because that lets you know the Spirit is always going to let you know the right people you touch by either their eyes, because you know when you've touched someone, or their words, you know, and it just, oh my gosh, it just moves me.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to bring these stories up, because they're just stories that I find storytelling, I mean, life is all about experiences, and what makes this entire reality is what each of us experience and what we go through and how we perceive the world, and then being able to share that with other people, it helps us integrate that in our lives and grow and evolve from it. And just to see how somebody is in need sometimes or asks for something and then they don't even know you. We don't ever know in what avenue the things that we need are going to come through, and so we have to be open
Absolutely.
to receiving. Because
Absolutely.
another point through your stories that you made were sometimes we want to receive, but then when the opportunities or the blessings come, you don't want to take them. Like, no, don't buy me the purse, or
Yes.
don't give me this,
Yes.
or I can't accept this. But we have to learn how to give and how to receive as well, because not
To feel
everybody
worth
knows how
it.
to receive. Yeah.
To feel worth the blessings, I had to learn that because I'm a great giver. But to learn how to receive is balancing the life, because you don't want to cut anyone's blessings off, and you want to believe you're worth it. So you have to know to do that. My mom had to teach me that, because she asked me one time, so you're the good one of the earth? You're the one that's always the giver? And I'm like, huh? She said, baby, learn to receive. Because people want to give back because they appreciate you. The things that you do because it comes from your heart, and you look for nothing back in return.
And I wanted to ask you one last question. In your life path, how have you seen that every time that you listen to your spirit, how it's changed your life, how it's opened doors, and you've received into your life more?
When I'm in alignment, that's how I know I'm in alignment, is the way the doors open. Like, for instance, meeting you yesterday. Is so many similarities, you know? And what happens is, if something, spirit says turn right, I turn right. I get my answer. I don't know why sometimes, but I've learned to trust. I've learned to trust and have faith. And staying open is hearing the messages when they come, listening to the messengers, because my messages have come through animals. Through prayer, I've asked for something. Squirrel came up to me, I'm like, scared, ran, jumped in the car, and the squirrel ran under the car, ran back, stood up, was looking for me, and I was like, I'm bigger than a squirrel. I was in the seat, and that was an indicator to let me know what I prayed for was here, how I've been nice to people, little things that I did, it all surfaced. My business. All the good that I do, that I give, my girlfriend I thought was going to be my partner, she found the business for me. I do a lot of giving before I get what I get and do. She found the business for me. We knew it was mine because the bowls were red, porcelain. I love red, and the speakers on the wall were bowls. So I got it. She didn't get it. The next thing, I had a friend, we prayed. The anointed oil all over the door. She said, it's yours. The owner of the block gave me keys before he had money. It's just plumbers lined up,
Everything.
electrician, everything lined up. Another partner that was supposed to be my partner fell off. She told me it moved. She said, everything's happening too fast. I don't see the vision. And I had to let her know it wasn't her vision, it was mine. You're a desire of my heart. So that means you're doing something right in life. If I'm pulling you in, well, she can see it. So that's why it's important to be open and know that you deserve all good.
Right.
And I realized they were just catalysts. They were just people to come in and push me.
Of course.
The first person was just to push me. And to be honest, I think it felt more comfortable to open a business knowing you had a partner. And when they fell off, I had to keep pushing. Every time I turned away, it's like someone pushed my face back. This is yours. And that's when I realized it's beyond me. Because to be in business 30 years and have never opened a salon, and I've had many of people that offered me to open a business, Beverly Hills, everywhere. And I was saying, no, it was fear. It was fear. And it's different now. So it's beyond me now. And that's how I know. And whenever I see people walk by, I speak like the man I give the water to and different things. That assures me every day why I'm there. I'm there not just for me to assist and help people with their hair and talk to them. It's the people, the invisible people that walk by. And they're invisible because a lot of people don't matter to people.
Yeah, because we live in such a fast-paced world, and we're all just in our little bubbles. And this life is really about connecting, about letting somebody else know, hey, I see you, you matter,
Absolutely.
you know, and what can we contribute? Because everybody that it comes into our lives, it just like you said, those people that came into your life were a manifestation of you to help you. And even yesterday, like how crazy was that when we went to the salon, and then we all had like all this conversation about spirituality. First of all, it turned, something should have been an hour. We were there for like 5 hours.
No, really?
We were there for 5 hours. And then at the end of it, to find out, like my girl had been like stressing about her hair, and she was like, okay, well, I don't know how I'm going to make this happen, but I know I'm just going to go do my hair, and I'll figure out how later on, you know, I'm going to be able to find a stylist and keep up with this, because right now I can't afford all that. And it's just something, and I didn't even think about it. It's just something that she had. Remember, she said the day before and in the morning. We get there, you guys talk, I leave, we come back, we're all talking, and by the end of it, she surprises us. Well, surprises my friend, and tells her that everything's on the house. And without her even knowing that just a couple of hours ago, she was trying to figure out how she was going to be able to pay for that, or just be able to have even a stylist, and you offered so much. So it was just crazy how the little synchronicities of life come together, and that's why I was like, oh my God, like we have to share this, because I love when synchronicities happen. And the truth is that when they do happen, we think it's like, oh my God, it's a miracle, it's so cool, which it is cool, but the thing is, the synchronicities, this is how it's supposed to be. Our life is supposed to be filled with synchronicities 24/7. But the problem is that we're not open enough, and we're not in tune and aware to listen and look out for them.
Absolutely.
Because this is how it's supposed to work. That's how manifestations work in your life.
Yes, it does.
It's the universe is always working for you.
It sure is. And
helping you and supporting you, but we're just not in tune enough and aware enough to see it and to put the pieces together.
And that's why I always say it's very important, like you said, to be open, because when you're not open, you don't see it. And I went strictly off of feeling, because in the end, she's a blessing to me because of the things that I need to do whatever I'm doing in life, she's going to bless me with. So it's just following, and it felt good. It felt right. Look, chills are going through me.
Yeah. The whole time after we left, she was yesterday all day, she was like, oh my God, this is so surreal stuff.
I know. I was doing the same thing. Why haven't I told her, oh, you guys have to be my two little girls. Explain you. And it's just like, and people go by off my word. So I've learned, like my mom taught me earlier in life, your word is your bond. You never have to go to the extremes to prove yourself. So when you have to go to the extremes to prove yourself, you lie. A whole lot. And I can tell someone, can you be there for me? I need you to do something or whatever. Sure, anything for you, Kim. I like life like that. Because I'm like that with people. Not everyone, because I don't believe in takers, because I don't take. Life is an exchange, period. But I want to give where it's valued.
Right.
Because when it's not valued, I feel bad on the inside. I'm being very honest, because then I wasn't following. I was doing something else. Because whenever you're following the Spirit, you never feel bad. And because of the place you're coming from, that's why you have to watch the people and get out of the way of karma. I had to learn that too. Because I wanted to just help.
Yeah, no.
But people create their situations, and if you help everyone,
you have to. Life is a balance, and that's.
Absolutely.
I talk about that so much. So sometimes, especially people who tend to be healers, because you can be healers in different forms. From whether you're healing with your hands, with your words, even in any form. Like even you with hair, you're healing people.
Absolutely.
And sometimes we tend to give too much and become a caretaker, and you want to help, and then you deplete yourself. And so there's a balance in that. And the other thing that I do want to point out is I want people to realize too that when it comes to doing things as far as like manifestations and synchronicities and giving back, it's all in your intent. So this isn't about like, I'm going to do something tomorrow for somebody because I'm hoping that something's going to come back to me, because it doesn't work that way.
I totally agree.
It has to be genuine, and just has to be something that if you feel led to do something for someone naturally,
absolutely,
do it. If you feel led to take this route and it makes no sense, follow it, because you never know where it leads you, and it's
absolutely. And with the same way with tithing, people tithe 10% looking for the return. That's a big difference to me. That's not why I don't tithe. I tithe to the universe. And actually, I give before I'm paid. So when I do free jobs, when I discount jobs, when I do all of that, that's tithing. Because you're giving a form of your livelihood, yourself. I give away before I've seen money. Tithers are waiting to get some money, look for 10% and give away, and God's gonna give me 100 times back. That's not what I do. Because in the midst of a lot of things that I've learned with churches, they're missing the people that really are in need. We need the churches, please believe me, and you need people to tithe because it keeps the storefront, the house running. All of that is really needed. But people, to me, they take things out of context. Understand and give with your heart. When you give with your heart, you feel it. It just, the feeling is so great. That's why I said I tie it to the universe. So lots of times I'm overgiving. But I don't mind, because to look at someone's eyes, I've given my last. And it was never my last, because once I gave it, I woke up, it was something else coming. That was unexpected. But even if I gave my last, it was the best feeling. I can't believe I've not cried once. The Spirit wants me to get this out, because normally I will break and cry when I'm telling stories. But it's like if people just learn the two main things of life is love and giving. Can you imagine? Look how we did it yesterday. It was just a chain reaction. It just kept coming. It did.
So the other thing is that we're all talking, and then we're having a conversation, me, Kim, and Phoenix, and then all of a sudden in my head, I'm like, shit, I wish I had a camera to record this. And there's been so many times that I'm like, I need to buy a camera, especially with what I'm doing with Creating Within.
Yes.
Because this is something that, I love to do, and so many times I have conversations with people and I want to capture it on camera so I can share it with others. And I'm like, this is what's going through my head. And then all of a sudden, Phoenix is like, you should get a camera, a Canon, whatever. And then she's like, wait, as a matter of fact, I have one that I don't need. I'm going to give it to you. And I'm like, what?
That was just such an awesome, that day meant everything to me. Because it's like my business, I built and created a business that I want to be a giving business. And that people come together and create. Like, for instance, yesterday.
Yeah,
we're here now, right?
We're
and that's what I've always asked for.
And we're doing it.
And we're doing it. People come together. Oh, hi, how are you? And you just start conversing, and from that point on, you connect, you create.
But you got to be present.
Absolutely.
To be able to take advantage of whatever the universe is concocting.
Absolutely.
Because if we wouldn't have been present.
No, you're absolutely right. I have a friend that did that. She had to go to New York, ran into a young lady that's getting ready to do her own show and different things, and she talked to her. She said, oh, I need you to style me. She said, okay, perfect, I'm gonna style you. And then she said, Kim, she needs her hair done. I'm gonna tell her she has to do your hair. I said, you're gonna tell her? Why didn't you tell her when the opportunity was there? And she said, oh, I said, I don't wait to tell them about you. I said, remember something, the door of opportunity does not stay open. You walk through it if you feel you're worth it.
Kim, it's been so great talking to you, and I would love to continue to share synchronicities busy with you all, but I know we have to wrap it up. But before I do, I just want to make one last point as far as when it comes to giving, you also have to remember that as much as you give to others, you have to also be able to give to yourself, because if you're constantly giving but you can't give to yourself, and if you can buy something for someone else but you can't buy it for yourself and you can't do it for you, you're depleting yourself, and what you're doing is imbalancing out. So always make sure you put yourself first, but listen to your spirit and help others along the way. And Kim, you've been great, and I hope that everybody has enjoyed our little candid conversation.
Absolutely. I have really, really enjoyed myself with you today, yesterday, today, and the future.
And when we get off camera.
I know.
So,
this is the beginning.
I wish you the best. I know that you have
Absolutely.
so many things going on, and I'm going to hear about them soon.
Absolutely. And she will be a part of it.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in to another Candid Conversation here from LA.